mindless
6 to
mode while
11.
we talk? Because I feel like that's just something mindless we can do. Not really have to pay attention.
Yep.
Do you want
I
to
gotta
post
figure
it?
out how to set that up. I gotta figure out where the freaking Kuva Fortress is at.
Alright. Well, so in
Exterminate.
the second interview, we're going to talk about greed, corporate greed, about like how some companies,
It's
like
not a low level one.
for video, it's fine, for video games, really just outstretch and will make people, it will nickel and dime anyone for the last cent they can get. Which, I mean, a
Basically,
lot
the
of
whole point is that he's trying to talk about to simplify it, and not by time, by stretching every. I'm kidding. Not stretching every word out. Is that nowadays in the video game community, video games are sold piecemeal. They're not sold as a whole product anymore.
right.
Video games like the more recently released God of War, you know, or some people like to call it Data War. Come here, boy.
Ha.
uh, God of War is a well-received game that has a full and, for the most part, probably complete story.
There isn't
And
anything that is ripped or just right out of the game.
Scans show
there's
graveyard
nothing
harvester
extra
Kuva
to buy.
nearby.
Right.
Set off the alarms
Versus
to
you
draw
take
them out,
games
then steal
like,
their Kuva
Here.
catalysts.
which is it's very well received. Versus if you take games like
Get over here.
what?
I dropped the pad.
Oh, if you take games
But yeah.
such as Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh God, you're going straight for the jugular with that one, huh?
Oh yeah, there ain't go. No, you know what? We'll start out. We'll start out small. We'll start out small here. We'll start out with Call of Duty.
Use these to sustain your environment or attach Kuva
Call of
catalysts
Duty uses
to begin harvesting.
microtransactions, but not super heavily. And there are some cases where you can excuse microtransactions because of what they need to do.
The only real way I'd say you can excuse them is like a free-to-play game. Like, for instance, the one we're currently playing, Warframe. Warframe's a game
I
that
wouldn't
plays
always
with
say that. I would say you can excuse microtransactions if you're doing.
Well, to a point. I'm not saying like, oh, you know, there's, you know, like the mastery rank, you know, the main form of progression to be taught. No, I'm talking about the like, you know, like they do in this game. You know, they have a way for them to make product, a way for them to make money, and still interact with their community.
Well, I mean like I need to down the volume
Get ready for
fine.
a capsule.
because I can barely hear myself.
Why is my bullet hose too loud?
I could barely hear myself,
Oh,
and he needs to be able to hear it and everything.
we gotta get you one of these guns, bro.
But in like microtransactions and stuff like you take like Destiny 2 is very much here's this, and it's in Destiny 1 at least it was all extremely just just cosmetics. You know, something that can make your character look cooler and stuff like that. There was some armor, but it wasn't anything particularly game breaking. It wasn't even that good. It was just it was there.
And it's not like, you know, any form of endgame was locked up.
Right. Versus if you take not so much Call of Duty, but if you take Star Wars Battlefront 2, they just went crazy with it. And in that one, their microtransactions bought you like literal like if you wanted to get all of the heroes you could play as, you needed to spend, it was about 60 hours in game to unlock one hero, or $20.
Yeah.
And in order to unlock every hero, you need to spend about, it was like $2,000,
Life support on the way.
and that's just ridiculous. And they can,
Yeah.
EA
Support activated.
fast, and they had to shut it down. Versus if you take a
I'm
game,
sorry, but did you notice that person's level name, bro?
no, I didn't.
Hopefully your
Chopper.
teacher doesn't.
I can only see Chubb and then Harry, so we're good.
I
But yeah.
Another life support capsule.
But versus if you take like Warframe, they did a thing where like my little dog pet that's running around with me, Scioto, he's an infected one. Versus there's ones that are like actual dogs, and you can change their color scheme. And so the developers of Warframe came out with a thing, and it was pretty much like push a button, spend 10 plat, which is the premium currency in the game that you pay real money for, and you can re-roll his colors to try to change his color around. It was kind of cool. Well, they looked back after an hour, and one dude had spent $500 doing this. And once they saw that, they instantly turned it off. There was no question about it. They didn't go like, ooh,
Yeah, it
well.
was. They realized they made a slot machine.
And they like, we're not going to have a slot machine in our game.
That wasn't the whole point to make a slot machine.
Support incoming.
Exactly. Versus if you had a game like EA, a game developer company like
EA's
EA,
like, hell yeah, we made a slot machine.
they would have kept that in there in an instant, not even thinking about taking it out. And that's the difference in like companies that care about their community and companies that don't.
Yeah,
Warframe
EA
is
used to-
the developers of Warframe. I don't know the actual name of the company. I don't remember it. Do you?
Digital Extremes.
Digital.
It is a It is a Canada-based company. They
And
grew
they-
big enough to where they have whole events based around their game. Called
TennoCon.
TennoCon once a year.
Most of like a lot of the cosmetics you can get in game for this are all community made.
I'd say a good third of them.
And the thing about this is that even those cosmetics, most of them, you can get without doing anything in the without having to spend a single dime if you're willing to actually play the game and grind for it. There's nothing you can get, there's nothing you can't get in this game without just working for it. Versus other games, that's just something that's non-existent.
Yeah.
And
This
it's
game, well, for
This game
instance,
has a lot
the
of
golden
love put into
standard-
it.
Besides that, the gold standard is that, like, first of all, where's that Kuba thing?
I
Is
have
it already
no
gone?
idea.
What? For instance, Warframe has what's called a premium currency, something that cannot be directly earned in game, and mainly the main form of acquiring it would be being bought from the in-game store. Well, unlike most free-to-play games, this company, Digital Extremes, decided to test out how, how making their premium currency tradable would work,
Right.
And then it's been, I would like to say, probably a resounding success on their part.
It has. I mean, look at our friend Luna. He has over, what is it, like 2,000 plat, the premium currency, and he hasn't bought any of it.
Yeah,
I
this
know-
premium currency is tradable between players. It's, what's it called? It is basically the main. Yeah, I don't want to use the word currency again. That's what it is. The main form of currency for all trading and all like that. And there's other things in game. It's not just bartering in between players.
Right.
Where is this thing? I'm trying to kill him.
Support incoming.
And it's just, I mean, Warframe is a community that is a company that cares about its community and cares about its players. Versus you take companies like EA, they don't, they're just here to take your money.
Well, EA cared about the community at one point, which is
They
why
did.
they have a community. Oh, we have to wait to use this, huh?
Another life support capsule. This capsule will now have
I'm thinking after this one we'll probably call it quits, the next reward, but
Maybe.
and just restart.
Yeah, they're getting strong. I'm dying fast and I'm running out of energy. Because that's Nidus' whole power is just frickin' his abilities.
Yeah. Got another fucking cameras. Anyways, yeah, it's communities make are the whole reason why games make money. Communities, nowadays content creators, because if I can't afford to buy a game, you know, the day it comes out, the way I'm gonna find out about it is if someone's making, you know, videos or they're talking about it and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go to GameStop and go, oh, hey,
What have you
got any
heard
new
about
games
this?
in? Yeah. This game, for instance, I had tried it once before when I got a PS4 for a short stint. Ended up not keeping it, and I gave it away to someone else. So I gave it back to the company because
Life support
I was
on.
getting it through a company known as Rent-A-Center. And, you know, I decided, you know what? I don't want to keep paying for this. I'll just save up and get it later. And I had tried this game out for a while, and I thought it was kind of cool, but there were still improvements they needed to make, and I stopped playing it. But, you know, then I see videos on it, and it's like, hey, that's cool. Have I played that before? You know, and
Additional life support.
I met some people that I talk to still, you know, through this game, and
Right.
you just talk to people, word of mouth and stuff like that. You know, people being disrespectful and rude will turn people off from a game.
And that brings us all the way back to the discussion, the first one of society.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I kind of blanked out and started talking about society again, didn't I? Whoops.
But
Yeah.
I mean, that just takes it back. You know, a good community in a video game can make that community soar, can make that game fly. Like, I mean, look at Destiny 1. Destiny 1 was not a good game.
Not
That
by
game was
even-
terrible. So many problems. It at the end of it, at the very end, it was good. But going to that,
Yeah. Towards the end of its
were
lifespan.
you were at the. I mean, me
I
and
just
you
set
were
off the
both
alarm.
just day one players,
Hold out
and
as
we,
long as you
Yeah.
can.
me and you have been together since day one.
Yeah. We've
And I mean, that
talked
just
and
speaks for the community of how close and like not close knit, but how like just together you guys can get in these types of
Yeah.
games.
just the freaking whole fact that we talked and met each other through Destiny, and we're currently talking right now. We knew each other because of that community. We were members of that community who were active, and you know, we weren't. We were trying to be helpful to each other and trying to learn stuff. Okay, now we can leave.
Now we can leave. I'm surprised
We've helped these
Saito hasn't gone down yet, honestly.
This capsule will
Yeah.
not harvest Kuva.
Do you want to keep going until we start dying?
Yeah,
We
might
don't
as
have to
well.
stick with rewards. We keep going with the Kuva though. But yeah, just a community's members of a games community can make or break it. It can also make or break the fact if that if that game's going to make any money. Because if there aren't people playing a game, showing off the game, giving critiques into the game, finding out bugs, then games aren't going to make money. They can't make any money off of merchandise. You know,
Right.
there's plenty of people that like Memes Gaming from that earlier conversation. You know, they had a moment where they lost a bird due to someone's greed. Cough, cough. He wanted a freaking Rex, or what was it?
I don't know.
A wyvern. He wanted a wyvern, and he lost the bird. Heck is that? Oh, those are your grubs.
But like,
Uh,
it's just you gotta look at like communities like this. We're getting back into society here.
yeah. Sorry. It's hard
That's
to
no
stick to like.
I mean, he
Money
doesn't.
and stuff.
He doesn't care. He wants it just to be kind of like talking. And I mean, if we go back onto this tangent, then we go back onto this tangent. But I should really form a Ninitis, considering I play on him so much.
Yeah. I've been getting my I got my Atomos with me to get it better.
Capsule. Commencing Kuva harvest.
Ooh,
But,
this
like-
is actually working really well.
I mean, this is a game that I'm very much an off again, on again player.
Yeah, but they still, you know, you're not really. That's one thing I like about this game. Being an off again, on again player
Doesn't
isn't
punish
really.
you.
Yeah, it doesn't punish you with this game.
Versus if you take a game
Because-
like Destiny, especially Destiny 2,
Oh, especially Destiny.
if
Oh, you've been gone for a week. You missed 12 updates. The light level's been raised. We want more of your money. You missed several events. That where if you didn't spend money, you couldn't get any of these cool items.
Right, like for instance, Destiny 2, I haven't played any of this new DLC really, And as such,
I hate it.
I'm not prepared. I'm not good to do any of the late game content
Well, question:
Get ready for your
if
capsule.
they do some Taken King nonsense,
with this new
this new
update. I'll
expansion,
get back
yeah,
into it. Yes,
yeah, all right, cool. Because I didn't know if you had it or not, so I
I
was
do.
asking.
I bought the deal. I bought the
Yeah,
season
that's
pass.
another thing. Like, there was the back to the greed conversation that we're supposed to be having.
Right.
You know, I remember seeing a picture, it was like Facebook, whatever, comparing, you know,
Another life support
the whole,
capsule is now available.
a whole video game and stuff like that to a burger.
Mission successful. Collecting
And whereas it used to be you got the whole burger, you also sometimes got you were able to unlock the fries in the shake, you know.
You know, that's
Nowadays,
actually
it's
a
like,
really cool thing that you just brought up, because our
yeah,
teacher that we're doing this for, when he likes to do like analogies for like writing a good paper or an essay, he uses a
mhm.
burger.
Oh, even better, let me finish. So it used to be, when you bought the game, aka the burger, you got fries and shake were hidden in the game sometimes. Nowadays, the fries and the shake used to be hidden in the game, and then that, you know, through effort and all that, you can unlock it. But, you know, your burger came with everything. It came with all the extra skins, you know, the cheese, it came with the mayo and all that. Being, you know, the extra skins, the cosmetic items you could unlock in game, the playing with your friends that you could get in the game, you know. But nowadays it's like, okay, so
Get
you got the bun, which is the main game. For the rest of the game, you got the cheese and lettuce, which come extra,
they could not do this
and you have to pay for those because they're DLC. And then you got yourself the burger. Ooh, ice spring. Never seen that before.
Another life support capsule is now available.
You know, you
oh, so
got.
it's playing Inros.
I'm terrible at analogies. I am terrible with analogies. I feel
But
like
then
we
you
should
get like
stop at this point.
like you get games like I can't think of a good example right now, but like
Last
the
of Us.
burger, the burger, the meat of the game has been completely ripped out and is sold as DLC that you have to buy later on.
Yeah. Like Destiny, for instance. There was a lot of the first one, not the second one. You know, the one whose community we're allotting a minute ago. The whole fact is that a lot of that game ended up being sold piecemeal, and people were upset because
Yeah.
you know the integrity of game makers nowadays just doesn't exist.
Life support.
Not really.
You ready to call it quits on this area?
Yeah. Lead me to the
My
exit.
gun's starting.
man. Yeah, I can't even. I'm barely doing anything to these guys anymore.
What the heck is the exit?
I have no idea. What frame are you even using?
Magical Girl measure.
Oh, I thought you might be using Octavia.
I wish I had Octavia.
Another life support.
I have her, I just
But,
never use her. I'm still surprised Scioto hasn't gone down yet.
Yeah.
Alright. I have no idea where to go. If we just head towards the green or what here.
Yeah, head towards the green thing if you can find it.
But it's just,
Where-
we keep going back to community here.
Collecting complete.
Yeah, it's hard to.
It's hard to
Stick
talk
to the
about,
one
I guess, microtransactions in a game without talking about how the community will react to said microtransactions.
Oh yeah, because like the Battlefront, for instance, there was a huge. There still is a
people were
huge following to the
boycotting,
Dark
boycotting
to the-
EA.
to the Star Wars series, you know, and people were very upset when EA tried to
Understandably
besmirch
upset too.
the image of Star Wars with these things.
Life support
You know.
incoming.
Versus everyone, I think most everyone can agree that if we had had the option, we would have rather just gone back and gotten the ones that were made for PlayStation 2.
Yeah, a lot of people just wanted those again. That's all we really wanted. They
We would
didn't
have
want
taken those
new-
with upgraded for online multiplayer. Not even upgraded graphics.
Yeah, because we didn't need the graphics. It was a well-built game.
It
But
was, and the
nowadays,
graphics
games
kind of
cost
still
so
hold
much.
up.
Has arrived.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
Please. Agreed. Agreed. The main thing we're talking about is going to kill us here. Were you able to find the exit? Yeah, I
I'm
was.
working on it. I think I'm heading to the right area.
You have to keep going down. It's really weird, bro.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I noticed so.
But, yeah, EA was like, yeah, so we want our players to have a sense of pride and accomplishment. That is
So
one of
you
the things.
earn your stuff, but you weren't actually
But-
earning it.
Yeah.
Because
it's
it
like,
was
you're
so
gonna earn it.
clearly ripped out of the game.
Yeah. Like, they reduced the prices for, like, the player, you know, the costs of the earning. The costs of earning something that was already in-game, keep in mind, they ended up lowering.
Get ready for
And
reversal.
they had an end-game reward, which they had put in, which allowed you to buy, like, 3 or 4 of these characters. Well, they ended up changing the price of the reward because they're trying to say, well, it was only meant so you can unlock the storyline's character in multiplayer. Hey,
Critical life support levels. Extraction
Oh,
is your best
God.
option.
It's a
okay,
nice
we got,
forest.
I think we'll last long enough before dying.
Additional life support has
He's
arrived.
here. The third. No, that's Scioto. Never mind.
We got 10 seconds. Do you think we'll last 10 seconds?
I think so, because it doesn't instantly
Oh,
kill us
someone
too. It
picked it.
starts dripping our health away.
Yeah, that's true.
The longer you fight,
Hey, we got a
the more
relic.
successful
I know we finally got a relic.
Ooh, Ice Spring mod.
Yeah, but did you notice the that Kuva we got?
That's a nice amount of Kuva.
Yeah. That's the whole reason we came here, bro.
Time
'Cause,
20 minutes, 1
Oh,
second.
see, that's well. Let me add this too. This is another great point to add. We came to this activity because it was something we figured we could do. Well, we talked about for the video, something easy to explain and talk about. Greed. Well, one of the many things this company noticed was that the community was talking about an in-game item that was used to, you know, affect other items in the game. It was used to build things, an in-game resource called Kuva. But the ways to get it were few and far in between. And the company, being extremely good in actually doing what most companies try to say they do, listened to the feedback of their community. And they made a way that was easier and more accessible to get it. Now, there actually was not a lot of bite from the, what's it called? I'm trying to think of the word I'm thinking of, when it's, you know what I'm trying to think of, Cold? Like, when something's bad,
Oh, I can't think of what you're trying to say.
you know, there wasn't a lot of flack against them for this, I guess, is a bad way of saying it, you know.
Yeah.
It was a choice that was generally agreed upon by the community as a good decision because it was something that needed to be fixed. I guess is a really, really bad way of saying it.
It was something that was way too hard to do in general. And so they made it a little bit easier.
And wasn't there a way to buy Kuva in game and like I think they got rid of it.
And that's
Because it
another
was-
thing about, like, I mean, like, you know, EA has, like, you know, pay to win. Like, that is, it's just, it's the, taking it out of its base form is pay to win.
Yeah.
Let's, here. Chris, what do I do to pull up my last mission? Oh, wait, there it is. Done thing. That's not what I wanted to do. I accidentally left the lobby. Whatever. Last mission results. So, if I go down here. Okay. I got 4 neural sensors out of that. If we're just doing
Oh,
that
yeah, you're-
one mission versus
Oh
if
yeah,
I
you want to point out how it's something to buy?
yeah, I can go into the store and I can buy that. But
What? They got more action figures in game. Sorry.
but like whereas neural sensors, like I got 4 for spending 20 minutes versus it's 10 to buy one of them. In Warframe, it's not pay to win. If you want to buy the materials for it, you can, but it's pay to lose. You're not
It's more
gaining.
like, it's not really pay to lose. I feel like you're just being kind of mean about that. The whole point is that
They don't want you to. They don't want you to
allow
go in and
they
spend
allow
your.
you to buy from the store. They make it easy. If you buy from the store, there's reasons to buy from the store. You're not getting ripped off if you do it. But, you know, you're rewarded for doing it, but at the same time, you're rewarded for just playing the game, which is
Right.
what they want you to do.
You're rewarded a lot more for just playing the game versus just
Mm-hmm.
going into the store and just paying your way into it.
I want to get this.
What?
That TennoCon digital pack.
Yeah, if I had the plat, I probably would. I think I'm gonna start
You
using
can't buy it
Nidus's
with plat.
alternate helmet, by the way. Like we're gonna, because when you get all like the infection and everything, it turns you into just like a big, like it's like a crown.
Well, you can't buy it with plat, dude. It's a money thing.
Oh. But yeah,
What, Mom?
so that's gonna wrap up this
Yeah,
one.
I'm not good with interviews, bro.
No, that's fine. I mean, we did it, at least as far as I understood what he wanted out of this. So, yeah, should be good.